Take number 5. Yes, I've been trying to do this video over and over again. One, it just looks so horrible. Like my eyes, I realize my eyes get so closed in some of these videos because I'm like looking at my webcam. But anyways, in a couple takes, she would not let me do it, and I had to invite her into the video. I told her she could be quiet, she could stay. We'll see how that works. But anyways, the question was, did I want to quit? Yes, there were times I wanted to quit, but not the way you think, maybe. What happened was, when I went to a couple, I went through fertility treatments, IUIs, and she convinced me that I needed the most medication because how poorly I did on the test. And by the time I did the testing for infertility and the 2 IUIs, I was already in the hole $6,000. I was like, and she was not optimistic. That's the problem. Like, why am I going to go further in the hole and you are not optimistic? And I was so close to being out of debt at this point, which has totally reversed at this point, but I can still pay my bills. I did get pregnant the first go round and had a miscarriage. It was very, very devastating. To get that positive, and you're so excited, for them to tell you that they don't think it's gonna last because your whatever, how they judge it, is very low. The hormones for pregnancy is very low. So all I remember was going home the second time and not getting pregnant and just crying my eyes out and saying I didn't want to do it anymore. Not that I didn't want to try to have a baby. I just didn't want to do it with them anymore. And I called and told them, and that was the best thing ever. Yes, I was in the hole, but it was all to get her in the, her in the ultimate scheme of things. So what happened was, I really feel it was God, because I was reading somebody's blog like that day when I was like having my meltdown, because I get obsessed. So I had all these blogs and things that I read of single mother by choice, and somebody was talking about known donors, and I never even considered it, thought about it. My family said, why don't I do it that way? And I'm like, oh no, I want to do it the right way. I don't want a guy involved or whatever. If he wasn't going to be a father, I didn't want him involved. And because I did at one point try to have a baby with my ex, excuse the phone. So anyways, what happened was, it all led me to giving birth to her. And then over the course of this process, I was very devastated and upset. And, I went to college, I'm educated, I have a good job. Like, why is this happening to me? Why can't I have a baby? And actually, I was planning to move to Boston way before I actually did, because Massachusetts has a mandate that their health insurance pays for fertility. And I was like, shit, that's where I need to go. And then they even had a clinic here that I found that was like $200 for an IUI, and I'm paying thousands of freaking dollars for an IUI, which, I was like, okay, baby slobber, oops. So I was trying my best to get to Boston, but then my job offered me this big promotion that I really couldn't turn down. So that's why the baby mission started in Georgia, because I couldn't turn it down, because I had did a short sale on my house, because I figured I couldn't afford a baby with this sinking house and the sinking housing market that put me in the position of sinking house. I really thought when I was ready to leave this house, I could sell it at a profit, but it wasn't worth anything at this point. So I short sold my house. I moved in with some friends, which was, before, come on, babes, which was, oh, Jesus, spit, come on. Which was before, I moved in with some friends, so, which was my transition to move to Boston, and then I got the promotion. So then I was like, okay, I'll start the baby journey in Georgia, but if it doesn't work out, eventually I'm going to be in Massachusetts, find me a job, and find a place, that'll pay for it, because I couldn't afford IVF at 20 grand a pop. So what happened was, I took the job, and that's when I started the fertility treatments, and that's when I found a known donor. Now, I've had 2 miscarriages, because I had a miscarriage with the known donor too. And they're just devastating. They're heart-wrenching. I don't know how people go through it. And I was just devastated. I lost friends because I felt like they weren't trying to understand me, and I had always been there for them, and they weren't being there for me, and I was just devastated. And I was like, I'm just done. I don't want to be your friend anymore. I'm over it. One friend I got back, a couple friends I don't want back. I'm just over it. When you've been there through the hard time for someone else, and then you have a hard time and they are nowhere to freaking be found, or the way they come at you is just so wrong, I was just done. So after all that, I had to see somebody to talk to, because I was just depressed. I was upset it wasn't working out. Um, and when I saw this person, they said, well, why are you already at the end that it's not going to happen? Let's stay in the positive, and you're not there yet. They were very spiritual, I wouldn't say Christian, but more spiritual based. And it was saying, well, let's just say we can depend on God to help you if we get to the point that you cannot have a child. But at this point, we're not there yet. And it really helped me to calm down and get out of the negative, that this is not going to happen for me, and what the hell am I going to do, and crying and upset. I mean, I was having crying fits to my mother, okay? And she's like upset too. So all that to be said, no, I didn't want to quit in the sense of I always still wanted a baby. I wanted to quit the heartache, the upsetness, the depression, and all this and that, because I thought I wasn't going to have it. And the thing too was I was a testing fool. Like every time, I mean, I practically cleared the shelf of Walmart, Walgreens, and Dollar Tree of their pregnancy tests. And also, when you're looking for pregnancy tests and you're testing early, figure out the sensitive ones to help you get a reading. And I'm putting this crap under the microscope to I'm putting this stuff under the microscope to see a double line, because if you see that double line, you're pregnant. But, when I got pregnant with her, I stopped that. I didn't test as much. I didn't test at all. I waited till my period didn't come. And then I still waited another week just because I just didn't want to be disappointed anymore. So I still waited another week. I got out of my head. I was like, if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. And I will start again next month. But, my process wasn't easy and simple. I know I didn't document all that because it was emotional. Now I can talk about it because it's over. I am thinking about having another one, but we'll have to really think about that one. Anyways, any more questions or concerns, feel free to ask. I appreciate all my subscribers. I don't really have a lot compared to the YouTube community. But, when I was researching, I couldn't find anybody talking about this topic on YouTube. So I thought I'd be the first. And I'm glad, that I have my daughter, and I wouldn't change anything. Everything seemed to have worked out. And the funniest thing is the job I stayed for went out of business. Yes, the doors closed. Well, they're not totally closed yet, but they sold the company. And I'm back in Boston. So everything comes full circle. Everything, it was all meant to be. Like everything that happened was meant to be. Bye, YouTube.